Well, hello, this is Gmodism Total Nerdy Channel, and we are doing a airship showcase. I will show you all my airship I ever built, and I will talk about them in like a, I don't know, historical or something perspective. I will talk about how you will use these ships and, well, everything about them, basically. We begin with the small ships, as this lags quite much. I spawned in all my small ships as well as without any constraints, so the ropes are missing, but that's the only difference. So this little airship I built while I made a tutorial for how to build an ACF airships. It's the Dreadnought airship. This uses a weight that, well, is a wire system with fixed balloons and a weight that forces it down. It has a 1300 cubics of one-cylinder engine. This is a very fuel-efficient airship, as it has this fireplace where you can use regular wood to transfer into energy into the engine and then, well, basically go on most types of fuel. It's kind of a wartime-inspired airship with a homemade feel of it. This is kind of a home build, not a serious, or it's a home build airship. Next out we have the Blue Sky 2. It's a small airship for one person. That's a small attack ship. We have a mounted wire system machine gun that sprays out bullets in a high speed. This is a very maneuverable airship, and those are thought to be docked at a larger airship or base and be launched out for a fast defense. We have saved very much on weight, and well, the design of these balloons make it very maneuverable, but also not a very good ship when it's blowing strong winds. This is one of my first airships that I've built for war-type situation. All of these airships I've spawned are powered by ACF. I have some airships powered by E2, but they're kind of all ACF engines with, well, a propeller with a fin. And these two fins, well, they make a propeller as well as steering propeller, so they're built in a very realistic way, which is always nice. And this on the front is also a steering fin, so that you will have a better control of the ship. Here we have the Ariel. This is another homemade styled build airship with a very nice feeling of it. You can walk around on it very good, and also control it from a wire controller from the seat. I've used this in many videos, like battling enemies in Half-Life 2, spawned this airship in Half-Life 2 and then flew around with it. This airship is inspired from kind of the Half-Life 2 homemade shabbiness of stuff. So I made this airship to basically fit in with the rest of the world. And very nice to use for kind of role-playing Half-Life 2 but with an airship. Of course, some game mechanics don't work, but, well, it's fun. This is another homemade style, not any serious, just strapped together. Here we have my second war-inspired airship. It's called Ariel Fighter. And this is a very sturdy build with metal propellers and good fins and very strong pillars and rods and, well, very metally. And it's also have this lovely dashboard that tells every information you need, like current fuel, ammunition, gear, speed, and also the ballast. This is a counterweight airship, fixed balloons with a counterweight. Very maneuverable and also quite vulnerable. This is kind of something of a bike in the sky, like air bike, large engines and high speeds. This attack boat is a very strong ship. So the thought is that this is an fighter airship, like a fighter plane. These in groups will attack a larger airship and effectively take them down. This is a vacuum airship based system, like a tank where you produce a strong vacuum that causes the lift force. You can see that this is also vacuum inspired as well as this one. This cannon is made for taking out other airships and planes and, well, larger structures in the air, while this is a machine gun aimed right down to attack infantry that might be trying to shoot this airship down. Next out we have my Gmodism airship. I just called it the official airship, something like that. I made a duplication that's free for download for this one. It uses realistic fins, which are wooden, so if they got shot off, you can't move. So if you use this in some gameplay, you need to be careful and protect your aircraft. This has walkable parts all over. Very safe craft. It's also inspired from the Half-Life 2 world, and it's like this one, but a better, much better version with more interesting model and props. This is meant to have been a serious produced airship, like it was produced in series and everyone could buy it, and like a car basically. But year passed, Half-Life 2 world came, and this is meant to look like a modded up version with some new tech, some cheap fixes, and some simple armor type of structure. Basically a fixed up old car or something like that. Next out we have the Foix, a fighter class airship, very maneuverable and strong, with a free aim 40mm heavy machine gun that both can take out lighter targets and even heavier ground targets like light tanks, which I've shown in a video. The Foix uses double petrol engines of the type inline 6. It has 4 propellers per each motor and has a protective ring also, so that the pilot and bullets will not hit the propeller as easily. This airship is very much inspired from World War II fighter planes and, well, more heavy fighter planes. It's a very sturdy but still light airship. This airship is designed to take out most targets, can be in group and can be single. It has been made in many series by Gmodism Industries and has been sold to many militaries and have been very well performing in the history. This is the version 5, which differs from the version 2 and 3, especially by this new addition of a mortar instead of a short cannon, as this can easily bombard enemies on the ground, as well as attacking air targets and blowing up enemy balloons and make them sink. Next out we have my 2 middle-sized airships. These 2 are also very much inspired by Dieselpunk, that the Foix airship is. A one-liner explanation of Dieselpunk would be steampunk but World War II and a huge fascination for engines, plate steel and yeah, cool stuff. The Melody airship is a serial produced airship made for both civil and military personnel. This version has a mounted turret. In spite of that, this is not a straightforward military fighter airship. It's only capable of defending itself. It's basically meant to go long distance. It can take some defense, but it's not a fighter. This is used for transporting messages, surveillance, and other patrolling activities. This, as well as the Iron Flower, is vacuum-inspired airships. This is the compressor of air, which can extract the air and create the strong vacuum lifting force. This is a very interesting ship. We do have lights on the ship, both inside a more reddish light so that you will not disturb the ice, as well as a light to shine straight forward to, well, basically you could use that to light up enemies or things that you don't know what it is that you will question, as well as, well, using when landing the airship. It's quite crucial. We have a landing gear here with some dampening, as well as in the back. This airship can be landed straight down, even though it's easier to land it more in a plane fashion, as we always have momentum. With two V12 engines, this airship can reach high speeds, as well as going very long distances due to its very large fuel tanks. On this airship we have some extra equipment to, well, make mid-air repairs if need be. We also have a radio and a large and advanced controlling system for all of this ship's function. This is a combined manual airship. You can steer with the steering rod in the front manually, and also sit in this control pad and have full control over the airship. These indicators will show the engine's current RPM, and we have information like speed, lifting force, clutch and gear. The clutch is used to speed up the engine, then gear backwards and then reconnect the clutch, and thus creating a stop effect or a backwards. This ship has a steering fin right here in the back, though you can see it's of limited size and can only be used for making long-term turns. If you need to make a fast turn, you can activate only one of the throttles, then only one of the engines will activate. Thus, these four fins that are connected to this gnaw here and connected to the gearbox and the engine will create a force on the one side only, which will make the airship turn very much effectively. The Melody airship is an old model, and you can see even though it's in very good condition, it looks a bit torn down, as it has been used for many patrol missions and so on. It's completely walkable and you can reach all of the systems very easily, except the ammunition. For reaching the ammunition, one needs to go outside and opening the storages in the back where the ammunition is placed. Next out, we have my Iron Flower. This is very suitable to use as patrol and is also performing very well in combat against other air vehicles. Though it's a bit vulnerable to ground forces with large cannon that easily can take out the vacuum tanks. Though it's a very sturdy airship, if one takes out too many of the tanks, the airship will sink and crash in a devastating crash. This airship comes in different version. This is the long-range standard version. It has a protective roof that protects from weather and wind, as well as offers storage areas for ammunition, foods and even area for sleeping. This airship has very large compressor capabilities to be able to create a lift force fastly and also sink fastly. This airship is equipped with 4 separate engines with separate propellers. The propellers are as small as possible, thus they have to be in a very high speed to be able to create the very demanding force that they need to have to create a fast and agile airship. Turning is controlled by moving vacuum force from left to right, right to left tanks, as well as spinning faster on the right, respectively the left side of the engine. To sink up and down, one simply moves the vacuum force from front to the back. Thus we have a very advanced with many tubes needed to create this sort of fast movement of vacuum force. The iron flower is also equipped with anchors to be able to attach to as well as enemy ships as well as bases. The deck is completely walkable. You can walk around on this deck as I've shown before. The control is all manned by one person as well as one person as a gunner. In this little box we have the advanced technology to run this airship. We have some interesting weaponry. We have the 40mm short cannon, very interesting system that automatically loads. It's a bit dangerous having them as far back as they are placed now, but this also creates a very good protection for the cannons itself. This turret is here, although very exposed, also very accurate. This in combination with the heavier 140mm short cannons can destroy most targets quite effectively. The iron flower is surprisingly agile and well performing for its weight. It has some basic armor, but well, on airships you can't have too much armor for the simple fact that they are running on vacuum and can't be too heavy. Next out we have my Dreadnought class airship as well as my Zeppelin. My Zeppelin is my first larger airship. It's a bit incomplete and uses very simple parts. It's basically a water type airship which is basically launched from water. It has a smaller defensive cannon but is although not a very much battle airship. Though it actually has some interesting ACF engines that is used to control it, which is cool. Here we have the first of my Dreadnought class airship. This is a very new and advanced type of airship. It uses the force of quantum locking. The Dreadnought class airship uses advanced crystals to lock itself in tune with the Earth's magnetic force. Thus it's very stable on a 1 magnetic level, though it's very slow of lifting and sinking. The Dreadnought class airship uses enormous amounts of coal to be able to generate the power needed to use the crystals effectively, and if the engines would stop, the quantum locking would not be possible and the airships would fall down from the sky. That's why a large amount of coal is brought on board. This version is the Dreadnought Battler, a straightforward battle airships with very heavy howitzers. This has 4 155mm howitzers in a well-armored turret. From this turret a single combatant can take on most targets and destroying them in seconds. On the broadsides, mortars are mounted to be able to use against other larger structures. Here we can see the containers for the crystals as well as the sturdy placement of the whole structure. Here you also have large capacities for cargo. This is the Dreadnought Bombardier. With 3 easily controlled howitzers, it also is capable of taking out quite heavy targets very fast. It also have the same mortar systems, and this and the Battler are quite similar. Like the Melody airship, all these ships are equipped with a lantern so that they are visible and while other airships and planes will not crash in them. This is the Dreadnought Trader. It's a reutilized bombardier, with a large trading capacity, as well as the surface within to fill out with different types of goods. This has a landing deck which has been filled with wares and goods and all kinds of stuff. You can even go inside this little house. Lastly, we have my in-process Dreadnought airship. It's the latest version that I haven't finished yet because I want to use some other weaponry on it. This has the work name of Dreadnought Cerberus. This is the airship I recently showed you. This is my largest build so far, and it's the Damocleus capital airship. Inspired from Roman and Greek mythology, this airship packs quite a punch. Instead of the Dieselpunk inspiration, it still looks a bit like Dieselpunk, but this is more electro-Dieselpunk with electric engines and also laser, which can be fired from the side of the heavy defense systems. Can we mention that this is a scaled airship, so if we crouch we will be more in line with size. This is supposed to launch airships and planes on your enemies. Well, with this enormous airship, I can conclude my airship showcase. This is all the airships that I have built so far that I thought was worth showing. So, I hope you have enjoyed this video. And if you like my airship, you should absolutely check out my playlist with all of my airship, where I can show you in depth more of my airships. Subscribe if you like my type of content. You will be easier to find me later then when I upload new stuff, which I do regularly. And also, well, please like the video if you liked it, and well, most of you I will be seeing next time. So, this is Gmodism out. Thanks for watching.